Good afternoon to all. Today's topic for BSc Nursing fourth year students under the Nursing Management subject is Consumer Protection Act. So, talking about CPA 1986, firstly we should talk what is Act. So, Act is a kind of the protection, or can say Act provide the better protection to the interest of the consumer and to save the right of the consumers. And for that purpose, to protect the right of the consumers and to protect the right of any kind of a act for anything, to certainly protecting the right, there is the formation of consumers council and other authorities, those who are working over the settlement and solving out the consumers disputes and for the matter connected that way. If someone had violated the right of the consumer, if someone has violated another law, so there is a council that use act, means there is a council who goes with the certain process to resolve those issues, to resolve the disputes and bring the settlement. So that is the act. Now talking about the Consumer Protection Act. Consumer Protection Act 1986 was enacted for better protection of the interest of the consumers. The provision of the act came into force with the effect from 15 April 1987. So, firstly, it was enacted in 1986 but come in the action by the year of 87 in April month on 15th date. So, the Consumer Protection Act imposes strict liability on the manufacturer in case of supply of the defective goods by him and the service provided in case of the deficiency in rendering of its services. Mean, if the manufacturer or those who are providing the services, mean service provider, अगर उन्होंने, if they had given the kind of provided the services which are not effective, which are deficient somewhere at some point, so the consumer have the right to go and take the legal action for the manufacturer or the service provider. So it is samely applicable for the manufacturer, industrial areas, even the hospital. Nurses are the service provider at the point and the patient is the consumer who is consuming and who is therefore the rendering of the services. If those services provided by the nurses are not efficient, are not accordingly and are deficient somewhere, so the consumer has the right, means the patient has right to take the legal action. The term defect and the deficiency as held in the catena of cases are to be caused in the widest horizon of there being any kind of a fault, imperfection or shortcoming. Furthermore, the standard which is required to be maintained in the services or goods is not to be restricted to the statutory mandate but shall extend to that claim by the trader expressly and in any manner whatsoever. Now talking about the enactment of the act, the act was passed in Lok Sabha on 9th of the December 1986. told you enact हुआ था 1986 में in the month of December on the 9th date and Rajya Sabha on 10th December 1986. So act was passed from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and passed by the president. Mean there is a sequence which has to be followed if we have to make any act come into the action. So act was firstly passed by Lok Sabha, passed to the Rajya Sabha, then finally it will be passed by the President of India. So it was passed on 24th December 1986 and established in the Gazette of India on 25th December 1986. So it was included in 25th December 1986 in the Gazette in the Constitution. The act was enacted in the 37th year of the Republic India and was amended for the time to time in the following year. Mean एक्ट पास हुआ था 86 में, एक्शन में आया था 87 में एंड देन उसकी अमेंडमेंट, मतलब देयर इज दिस सर्टेन चेंजेस ब्रॉट अप इन द Act that was in 1991, 1993 and 2002. Now talking about the silent feature of the act. So this act cover all the sectors, whether private, public, cooperative or any person. The provision of act are compensatory as well as preventive and punitive in nature, and the act applies to the goods covered by sale of the good acts and services unless specifically exempted by the central government. So told you, जो भी कंपनसेटरी एक्शन लिए जाएंगे दैट कैन बी प्रिवेंटिव एंड प्यूनेटिव, मतलब पनिशमेंट भी हो सकता है और देयर कैन बी एनी काइंड ऑफ कंपनसेशन इन दैट. और जो एक्टिविटीज़ और जो जो चीज़ें इसमें कवर की गई हैं दैट आर दी थिंग्स जो सेल होती है मार्केट में, मीन मैन्युफैक्चर हो रही है एंड देन सोल्ड आउट टू द कंज्यूमर दैट थिंग. और जो सर्विसेज अवेल करवा रहे हैं समवेयर इधर इन द हॉस्टल्स, हॉस्पिटल, इवन होटल, restaurant, everywhere those who are availing the services for the consumers, they have the kind of chances to go through the consumer protection act if they have not been providing that kind of a services for that they are there. It enshrines the following rights of consumer, that is right to be protected against the marketing of the goods and services which are hazardous to the life and property. If there is any kind of a services or goods that are, means, okay, taking an example, sometimes food adulteration is being done, brick powder is added in the chili powder, white stone in the rice, all these are hazardous for the health, mean they can keep someone's life on the stake. So for that reason, if some kind of a goods or services, means negligence or maleficence are there, nurses are not providing adequate care, they are not caring for the patient's life, so there this protection act can be used. Right to be informed about the quality, quantity, potency, purity, standard and the price of the goods and services so as to protect the consumer against the unfair trade practices. Okay, when you are providing, availing some kind of services or the good, even material provide करवा रहे हैं, तो the person should, consumer to whom you are selling that things, he should be aware, and it's your responsibility, you have to give the complete information about the product, about the good. For example, if someone is buying a washing machine, so they should know about the quality, quantity, how much, potency, guarantee, warranty, purity kitni hai, all these things should be kept in the mind. And if same time pe services, when they are in the hospital, the nurse is providing the service, for that every time the nurse has to give the details of that thing to the patient. And for example, if single injection has given to the patient, there should be a complete information about that injection, that we are giving you this injection for that purpose, and the cost of this is itna amount, and you have to pay that amount, and it should be according to MRP, mean the market rate should be known to the patient, and accordingly he had to give the amount and have to pay for the services. So the consumer should know about everything in the service providing areas. Next is the right to be assured whenever possible access to a variety of goods and services at competitive prices. Means there should be a proper access to the goods and services at the competitive price. Competitive price again coming over the MRP. MRP is रिटेल प्राइसिंग, जो वैल्यू मार्केट में उस चीज़ की है वो चीज़ उसी वैल्यू पे नेक्स्ट पर्सन को मिलनी चाहिए. देयर शुड नॉट बी इंक्रीज, एनी काइंड ऑफ इंक्रीज और मीन kind of, there should not be collection of the money from the item that is of not that much amount. So it should be according to the retail pricing. Right to be heard and to be assured that the consumer's interest will receive due to consideration at the appropriate forum. Mean there should be proper area or proper platform for the consumer where he can speak about if any kind of issue, any kind of dispute has been happened between the consumer and the manufacturer, and there should be a platform where his voice can be heard by the next person. Mean there should be a consumer council proper and the authorities who can hear up to the dispute that he is going through. Next is right to seek redressal against unfair trade practices and unscrupulous exploitation of the consumers. Next is right to consumer education, means he should have the knowledge about the Consumer Protection Act. Next, the act is establishment of the Consumer Protection Council at the central, state and the district level, whose main objectives are to promote the protection of the rights of the consumer. So Consumer Protection Act councils are at the state level, central level, even at the district level, where the consumer can speak out about his dispute. To provide a simple, speedy and inexpensive redressal of the consumer grievances, the act emphasizes a three-tier quasi-justice judicial machinery at the national, state and the district level. These are the National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, known as the National Commission, State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, known as the State Commission, and District Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum, known as the District Forum. The provision of this act are in addition to and not in derogation of the provision of any other laws for the time being in the force. Talking about the philosophy of this act, the philosophy behind the law is, according to the legal analysis, is prevention. That act tries to prevent the consumer from being unfairly exploited by the businessman and the individuals. Council made up of the consumers and their chosen representatives work with the guidelines of this law to hear and settle the disputes. Area of regulation in the Consumer Protection Act that focus on the hazards to the health and the personal property are at the top of the law's priority list. Some of the terms used during hearing and the settlements are purity, price, means these are the term on which there is talk over the council, is like talking about the purity of the good or the services, prices of the services and the goods, quantity of the goods, quality of the goods. The law also specifies the consumer's right to be heard in the appropriate setting. Mean there should be appropriate setting where the consumer's right to be heard, where the consumer can speak out over his disputes. In addition, the Act lists consumer education as very important so as to prevent the future disputes. Next is the structure of hearing system take directly from the law itself, including the redressal forum at the district, state and the national level. If the issue reached the national level, the settlement generally involve the higher cost compensation issues that haven't been settled at the lower levels or closer to the home. Now, how the consumer can put the complaint. The Consumer Protection Act of India is also quite specific about what a complaint is under the law definitions. First and the foremost, the complaint must be made in written and should concern an unfair action by the business or individual acting in a commercial setting. Defects in the good or unsatisfactory services can be the subject of the written complaint. Complaint can be over the any defect is there, any deficiency is there, unsatisfactory services are being provided. Though these are the topic for the written complaints. As can excessively high charges for good or services, mean if the services are provided from the retail pricing more than the retail pricing, consumer are not charged a fee for filing such complaint. Mean RTI can be done over the consumer court, consumer forum without any cost. Means there is no kind of charges you have to give while doing the any kind of complaint. Decisions may involve complete removal of any deficit in the production or replacement of the product. Refunds are specifically provided for the law. Fair decision can be like, if someone has provided the deficient or defective material, there can be the replacement, or there can be the change, or there can be kind of, if there is any kind of a manufacturing dysfunction, so proper functioning can be provided, services can be provided, and if it is not worthy, to refunding mean consumer can get back his money if he is not being satisfied the service that has been provided. Now talking about the various definitions that are in CPA. And so first is complaint mean a consumer, any voluntary consumer association registered under the Companies Act 1956 or under any other law for the time being in force, the central government or any state government. One more consumer, where there are numerous consumers having the same interest who or which make a complaint. So talking about what is consumer, consumer means any person who hires or avails of any service for the consideration which he has been paid, mean any service for which he is paying or promised or partially paid or partially promised, and includes any beneficiary of such services other than the person who hires or avails the services for consideration paid or promised or partially paid or partially promised or under any system of deferred payment when such services are available of with the approval of the first mentioned person. So consumer who is paying for the service or for the good is the consumer. Next is consideration mean fee or payment. Fee may have been fully paid in cash or check. Mean consideration matlab the money or the amount that the consumer had been given to the next person, the businessman or the individual. It can be in the form of the check or undertaking that it will be paid. Means there is a undertaking ki jaldi hi I will pay the money, which is accepted by the doctor or the hospital. The fee may have been given partially, which with the understanding that the remaining will be paid subsequently. The payment may be done by the patient himself or by someone else for the patient. Example, father for his son, husband for the wife, or any person for someone. A person who received the medical treatment in the government hospitals or the charity hospitals free of the cost is not a consumer. Mean where you hadn't given the amount of a money, where you hadn't paid for the services. Until or unless if you had paid means you are the consumer. If you are taking any kind of a charity or unpaid services you are receiving, you are not consumer. So on that cases you can't go for any complaint because you hadn't paid for that thing, you hadn't given your property for that thing. So you are not able to go for the Consumer Protection Act if any kind of means disrespect or disobeying of availing process is there. So you can't. Next is the if the payment in case of the death of the patient who is a consumer, legal heirs of the deceased will be considered as the consumer. Means the next person. If the payment have been made by any person who is not a legal heir of the deceased, he too will be considered as the consumer. Next is deficiency mean. So any fault, imperfection, shortcoming or inadequacy in the quality, nature and the manner of the performance or service which is required to be maintained by the or under any law for the time being in force or has been undertaken to be performed by a person in pursuance of the contract or otherwise in relation to any service. Mean if the consumer had paid the money to the businessman or to the manufacturer or to the individual and he is not getting the services properly, if there is any kind of a fault, any kind of a flaw, any kind of a imperfection, the service is not adequate to the money, so that is called the deficiency meaning. Next is the complaint. What complaints mean? The complaint mean any of the following allegations made in written by the consumer. First is any unfair trade practice or restrictive trade practice has been adopted by the trader. The good hired or bought suffer from one or more defects. The good hire or avails of are deficient in any respect. A trader has charged prices in excess of the price fixed by the law or displayed on the goods or any package containing the food not good or the service, goods which will be hazardous to the life and the safety when used are being offered for a sale to the public in the contravention of the provisions of any law requiring traders to display information in regards to the content, manner and effect or use such goods. So the comment mean deficiency, negligence mean fault, imperfection, shortcoming or inadequacy in the quality, nature and the manner of the performance of the medical services rendered by the hospital and or member of the medical profession. Person mean a firm, whether registered or not, a Hindu undivided family, a cooperative society, every other association of the person, whether registered under the Society Registration Act or not. Services mean of any description which is made available to the potential user and includes the provision of the facilities in connection with the banking, financing, insurance, transport, processing, supply of the electrical and other energy, board of lodging or both, housing, construction, entertainment, amusement or the purveying of the newses or other information but does not include the rendering of any service free of the charges. Mean any service for that you had paid is considered as the service, but for those you are going on the charity and you hadn't paid the money, it is not considered as a services under the Consumer Protection Act. Next we will talk about the right of the patient on which the consumer, here patient is the consumer, he can file any complaint regarding the areas where if he is not find adequate care, if he is not finding that the provided services are sufficient, adequate, efficient, then these are the area where the protection should be there. The health personnel should protect these area of the person, and if they are not being protected by the health personnels, the consumer, means the patient or the family of the patient, can take the legal action for the against the health professionals, either the doctors, nurse, an auxiliary persons, dietitian, anyone. So first is the right to information. Whenever any patient come to the physician, it is the first and the foremost right of the patient that he should be provided with the complete information. There should not be any kind of change in the information. Transparency should be there. Whatsoever the patient have, the information should be given to the patient and the family member properly. So the patient, physician or their qualified assistant are required to provide adequate information about the illness, its diagnosis, provision, proposed investigation, possible complication for the treatment, what are the various types for the treatment, how the treatment gonna affect, either its side effects, its adverse effects, its benefit, everything should be told to the patient and the family member. If the patient is not in a state to understand, the physician should require to give the information to the caretaker, told you to the patient or the family member. And even about the money, how much money gonna be spent over this kind of a illness, that should be approximation should be given to the patient priorly. Sometimes it happens in the cooperative hospitals that they do take the admission, but they don't used to tell about the total amount of expenditure or finance that family has to provide to the hospital for rendering the services. So it should be given in the approximation before whole plan of the treatment with the amount of the money that is required for the treatment to the patient and the family member. So if they are available or if they are able to provide that much of a amount for the services in your hospital, then only they will proceed with the treatment in the hospital. But if they are not, they can go anywhere, they can change the hospital, or it's depend on them. But it is the right of the physician to show the complete plan of the treatment with the amount, how much amount they might go with the patient's care. That should be completely clear cut shown to the patient as well as to the family members. Next is the right to record and the report. Patient or their respective caretakers have the right to access the original or the copy of the case papers. Mean, if a patient is admitted in the hospital, the patient and the family member have the complete right to find out the whole process, what is going on. Complete information should be there. And the recording and reporting means, in the hospital what happened, every patient have their own file, investigation file, treatment file, and the billing file is there also. So the family members can have the look over these reports. Mean, either they can look over online, either they can take the hard copy. Financing, they are giving the money, but there is the provision to provide the bill to the patient or the family member of how much of the money or how much of the expenditure is there for the medicines. Everything should be clear and should be told to the family member. They have the right to see whole the recording, reporting whatsoever has been done for the patient from the assessment till the discharge. Anything they can go for the look. Investigation report have to be made available to them within the 24. Okay, if any kind of investigation, even if a blood test has been done, so report should be provided to the family member of the patient within the 24 hour. It's their right of the person. And 72 hour of the discharge. The hospital is responsible for providing the discharge summary. Okay, whenever the patient get discharged, the discharge complete summary by the physician to be provided to the patient, so that whenever he go to either coming to the same hospital, going to the next hospital, they should have the summary for the patient's condition. This with this condition the patient admitted, this treatment had been provided, now the condition of the patient is this, and now we are discharging the patient. So this include the discharge summary. So that should be provided to the patient. It is the right of the patient or the caretaker. Next is right to the emergency medical care. In the emergency situation, you can avail the medical care in any government or the private hospital. Means, if there is emergency, despite of the money, despite of the your socio-economic status, you can go anywhere. No hospital, either it is a private or the cooperative or kind of the charity hospital, no one can say no to you in the emergency condition. So to avail the life-saving services in emergency situation, it is the right of the patient to avail these services. Under Article 21 of the Constitution, which ensures that every person has the right to the life and personal liberty, you have the right to prompt emergency care by the doctor without the compromise of the quality or the safety, or without having to pay full or the advance fee in the hospital. So I told you already, either you have the money or not, but if it is a life threatening condition, it is the emergency condition, you can go to the emergency ward of any hospital, either the semi-government, government, private, anywhere. No one can ask you for the money in the emergency situation. If someone is asking for the money to you in the emergency situation where there is the life-threatening condition, or again, so you can go for the complaint. Again, if the service they are providing but they are not efficient in services, mean they are like in a mood that you had not given the money, you hadn't submitted the money for the services, so like life saving normal till like okay service to be provided to you, but they are not efficient, then even you can go for the complaint. Next is right to informed consent. It is the first and the foremost thing that has been taken even after the admission of the patient into the normal ward. Consent of the patient or the family member is must for any action after the admission of the patient. Either you are putting the cannula, consent should be there. If you are giving the medicine, consent should be there. If there is any kind of a surgery, consent should be taken. Now consent taking, who is the responsible person for taking the consent? So talking here, the nurses are not the responsible person for the consent taking. If any nurse has taken the consent and any kind of legalities come out later on, then that nurse will be in the surrounded by the legalities, because it was not in her responsibilities to take the consent. Nurse never ever used to take the consent. It is the responsibility of the physician, surgeon, psychiatrist, anyone's, mean the medical officers. It's a duty of the medical officers to attain the consent from the patient, either from the family member, but nurse has to ask for the consent कि आपने consent दे दिया है या नहीं. Means she has to again verify either the consent has been given or not, because plan is formulated by the doctors but it is implemented by the nurses. So again here it is like the consent wala baat, consent will be taken by the physician, but nurse has to verify before acting out the plan which is planned by the physician. So she has to ask for the consent either they had given or not, or any kind of a consequences arises after the consent. Mean you had firstly explained whole side effects or any adverse effect of the treatment which you are providing, but if consent has been not taken from the patient or the family member and any life threatening condition occur, any consequences occur because of the health care that you were providing, then you will come into the legalities. Mean the consumer can go to the court and sue you for the action that you had taken without the consent. Next is right to confidentiality, human dignity and privacy. So every time whenever the nurse is providing care to the patient, there should be the confidentiality. Nurse should not breach or do what kind ki she is spreading the information of the patient to the next patient, to the other patient, to other nurses, to other doctors. No, there should be the confidentiality of the everything. For example, if the person is with HIV and he don't want to tell to the next person or to the to others, then it is the right means right of the HIV patient not to open or say out about his disease, but on the same time it is the responsibility of nurse to maintain the confidentiality, but even to protect the third person. Confidentiality is maintained till point when it is not affecting the third person, mean it is not affecting the next person who is related to the patient. For example, if a male having the HIV, so it is the right of the female or the wife of that person to know about the HIV or infection in the in her husband. So it is her right even. So confidentiality to be maintained till point where it is not harming the next person. Human dignity to be maintained. Privacy, whenever you are doing any kind of the procedure either in the hospital, for example, even if you are changing the clothes of the patient, there should be complete privacy and there should not breaching of privacy. If there is any kind of the consumer or the patient or the family member can take the legal actions even. Next is the right of non-discrimination, means in the hospital if the patient is coming, he should be treated without any discrimination related to the religion, related to the caste, related to the creed, related to the color. Mean there should not be prejudice by the nurses or the health personnel for that patient. While you are treating a patient, it should be assumed as a patient only instead of their religion, instead of the color, instead of the caste. But at the same time, if there is the patient with the illnesses such as HIV, their gender, age, all these things should be not considered or not should be prejudiced. Means the nurse should not give out her thoughts over the religion, caste and treat the patient accordingly. No, she had to keep the religion, caste, creed, color, infection. Even nowadays, if it is coronavirus, nurse can't take the benefit of like I will not treat the COVID patients because it is harmful for me. Even that is her prejudice. No, she can't do like this. She has a responsibility for the care of the patient with any kind of the disease condition. So here she can't do the discrimination. She has to do, if any of the nurse say no to provide care to the COVID patient, the COVID patient or the family member can sue her to the court even for that thing even. So that's about the discrimination. There should not be any discrimination in the treatment by the staff member, by the health personnel, by the auxiliary person, by anyone. Next is right to the safety and the quality cared according to the standards. So safety should be maintained, security should be there. Safety and security, for example, if the patient came with the so much of the jewelry even, so there should be a safeguard for these jewelries and the person who is taking the consent. Here the consent for the jewelry and all these things, the senior nurses used to take the consent. So they are responsible for the safety and the security of their properties that timing. Cleanliness, infection control measures, sanitation facilities and safe drinking water, all these are the safety measures that has to be provided to the patient. If any patient came with a certain kind of a disease, but because of the drinking water that is present at the hospital or at the ward, he getting another kind of infection, that timing the staff and the hospital personnel will be at the legality. So it should be like, when it is talking about the safety, security of the life of the patient, there should be a standard formulation that maintain the safety of the person and the family members. NABH and JCI accreditation also explain about the standards ki how the quality care to be provided to the patients. Next is right to choose the alternative treatment options if available. Told you, when any surgery, any kind of a treatment plan the physician is making, the family member or the patient is also included in that plan. Mean the physician can't take the whole decision by himself. Decision making is of the patient. Autonomy should be there. The patient had the choice to make the decision. So only the physician will provide consent, is giving patient is giving the consent. Before that he has to explain every condition ki we are going with the treatment, this treatment has this adverse effect, this pros, and if you are not happy with this kind of a treatment, there are alternative for the treatment, आप ये treatments भी ले सकते हो. So it's completely on the patient कि वो कौन सी treatment plan के साथ proceed करना चाहता है. So you can't impose your thought or your decisions on the patient or the family member. It's completely their autonomy, complete their decision to go with the kind of a treatment they want to, which they can want to, and which they want to opt. So it's their right. If anyone is just imposing their decision over the patient that this is the only treatment you have to go because I am comfortable with this kind of a treatment to provide you with, so that time the doctor or the nurse can be get into the court by the consumers. Next is right to the second opinion. It is the correct thing. If like I am going to a physician, he had given me the prescription, he had told me about my disease condition, but I am not being satisfied what he had said to me, so it is my right कि I can take the second opinion. I can go to another place, I can go to another hospital, I can go to another doctor to have the second opinion. Means to get the correct information. If I am not satisfied with the information that was provided by the first doctor, I can jump to the next doctor. It is my right, means no one can make me stuck to a one doctor that you had came to here, now you have to follow my treatment. No, if he is not satisfied, he can move to the next doctor, he can take the second opinion. Even at the time, even surgery has been planned, but certain consumers want to know from their family doctor, want to take the suggestion from other consultants, so they are the persons with the right to do or right to have the second opinions. Next is right to transparency in rate and care according to the prescribed rate whenever wherever relevant. Told you, the services which are being provided to the patient in the hospital, every services charges should be clear, like a transparent sheet to the patient. If you are putting the cannula price should be told to the patient, and it should be according to the retail price. And if the medicines are coming from the pharmacy, whole bill should be submitted to them. And if any investigation is there, for example in the cooperative hospital, if you are having the investigation, you have to pay separately. So everything should be clearly defined by the nurses, that you have to pay that much of amount for the room per day, you have to pay charges for the for the meal, that much of the amount, for the pharmacy product, that much of the amount, for the investigation, that much, if we are transferring you to other ward for that much of the prices. Everything should be explained to the patient, and it should be according to the rules. Detailed schedule of the key rates need to be displayed in conspicuous places and need to be in both English, in understandable language, either English, Hindi, or if it is the foreigners, they should be provided with the transcripts. Transcripts are who those know the language of those person, and they are acting like a guide for them, means they are the message transfer between the health personnel and the patient. So accordingly, information to be provided to the patient have the right to receive the healthcare services that cost within the range prescribed by the central and the state governments at the time of receiving it. So it should be according to the pre-settled or pre-described prices. Next is right to choose the source for obtaining the medicines or tests. Okay, it is so common in maximum of the corporate hospitals कि they used to say कि you have to take the medicine from our pharmacy only, test should be done in our hospital only. No, if the person want, he can go anywhere to collect the medicines, and he can take the test even out of the hospital. No one can make them force to do the test or to take the medicine from their hospital only. For example, sometime it is happened, the person is from CGHS or third party, they can bring their drugs from the outer sides. Okay, means they will be have the right to go purchase the medicine from the market and get back and provide to the doctors. It is not necessary that the medicine should be from the same hospital, from the same pharmacy, and the test should be done within the same hospital. No, it is the right, they can go out, they can do private testing, or they can do what they feel for. Next is right for the proper referral and the transfer, which is free from the previous commercial influences. If a patient must be transferred from one healthcare center to another, it should be proper referral system, proper transport services to be provided. This step cannot be taken unless the patient or their caretaker accept it. Okay, they must be given with the list of treatment medicines that need to be continued after the transfer. Everything should be told to them. लामा हो रहा है, okay, लामा है, जा रहा है against the medical advice, they are going, means they have the right for that even, but you should report that the person went lama. Everything should be maintained. Next is right to protect the patient involved in the clinical trial, means you can't take the person for the research without his consent. Mentally person, if they are, you can't use them for the research. So if the person is giving the consent for the trial of any kind of medicine, any kind of research trial, then only after the consent they can go, but before their consent and without their information, without giving them information, without taking their consent, you can't use them for the clinical trials. Same thing nowadays going on for the coronavirus COVID-19. The clinical trial you can do over the human only on those humans who are giving the consent. Those who are not giving the consent for the trial reason, you can't do the trial of the drugs on the patients. So it is here. Right to protect, right of the protection of participants involving in the biomedical and the health research. In case of the patient is involved in the biomedical or the health research procedures, their consent needed to be taken. Means consent should be taken, that is the first thing, and at any point the patient has the right, he can withstand or withhold or can get out of that research event. Mean he has the complete right to get escaped from the research before its completion. You can't force them to get into the biochemical or any research until or unless it get completed. No, if he want to quit it in between, he has the right for that event. So that is called protection of the patient from any kind of biochemical researches. Right to be discharged, right to be receive the body of deceased person from the hospital. Okay, if someone is not satisfied with the services, if the person don't have money, if the person want to take the person home now because he is on the ventilator, life is at the stake, the person is about to die, so here the family member or the caretakers has the right, they can take the discharge of the patient, they can take the patient to the hospital. Anyone can't make them forced to stay here in the hospital to take the care. No, if they want to take the discharge, they can take the discharge. Next is, if someone get dead, if the deceased is there, the family member has the right to receive the body. If some hospitals, there are few hospitals that they don't used to hand over the dead body until or unless they get the complete payments. So no, it is not like that. If anyone dies in the hospital and his payments are not even means billed properly and fully, though they can take the deceased body or the dead body of the person. Here it is written like, similarly the caretakers have the right to the dead body of the patient who had been treated in the hospital, and the dead body cannot be detailed on the procedural ground, including the non-payment dispute regarding the payment of the hospital charges against the wish of the caretaker. So right of the patient education, told you the patient should be educated about everything whatsoever is going on, what is his condition, what is the disease, what are the treatment options, what are the availabilities, what are the consequences, how much of the money you have to pay, everything, major fact about the condition, health living practices, their right and the responsibilities, health insurance schemes relevant to them. Okay, if someone is from the central government, they are provided by the government, like CGS charges government used to pay for them, third party is there, or ESIC are the kind of services that are being availed by the government for the patient. You have to make aware the patient regarding all those services. It is the right of the person to know, and it is your responsibility to make them know about these conditions. Relevant entitlement for charitable hospital, how to seek redressal of the grievances. Next is right to be heard and seeking the redressal. Last but not the least, every patient has the right to address his grievances and give the feedback about the healthcare and the treatment they received at the hospital or from a particular doctor or the assistant. The MOHFW further added that the patient and the caregivers have the right to seek redressal in the case they are aggrieved or account of infringement of any of the above mentioned right in this charter. This may be done by lodging a complaint with an official designated for this purpose by the hospital healthcare provider, and further with the official mechanisms constituted by the government, such as the patient right tribune forum or the clinical establishment regulatory authorities, as the case may be. So that's all about today's topic. We had studied about the Consumer Protection Act. The Consumer Protection Act was enacted in 1986, passed by Lok Sabha on 8th of the December, by Rajya Sabha on the 9th December, and by the President on 24 December, and it got involved in the Constitution on 25th December. Then it came into the action on 1987, 5th April, and it got amended in 1991, 93 and 2002. Then we had studied about the terminologies that has been provided by the Consumer Protection Act, studied about the silent feature of the Consumer Protection Act, and talked about the various areas, various aspects on which, while you are working in the healthcare area, you are a health professional, which are the areas where if you are lacking and if you are doing any kind of negligence, malefficient practices, so you can get into the legalities. So that was about today's topic. Thank you. Have a nice day.